Okay, so here we are, day two. Much the same as yesterday. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video. Looks like quite a few of you have been following it on Facebook, and it's now got its own YouTube channel. So if you are that interested, you can keep subscribing and seeing what's going on. Today is much of the same. Just trying to keep it simple, really. I think it's maybe at least another day yet until I start doing some actual playing, which I'm really looking forward to. But one step at a time. I've had a long layoff. Chops, feel a million times better than they did yesterday. Not perfect by far yet, but we'll do another video today, and hope you like it, and maybe see if we can spark some more debate. But I'm sure we'll get through to that part later on. So I'll get myself set up, and I'll show you what I'm doing today. But it's much the same as yesterday, really. I'm not going to show you all of this. Obviously, it might be a little bit boring watching me breathing. I'm going to do 7 minutes today, so that's an extension of 1 whole minute. Don't worry, I'm not going to go mad and do 100 minutes of breathing in my 100 days every day. Although you probably do naturally anyway, but I'm not going that far. Metronome, crotch equals 60. Standard sort of time. 7 minutes of breathing. See you in 7 minutes. Okay, so that's my 7 minutes of breathing done. I actually recorded all of it. You're not going to see all of that. Obviously, I'll cut it down so you see about 10 seconds. But it's the same as yesterday. Did all of that first sort of batch this time. Pushing it a little bit harder. It's nowhere near as sore today as it was yesterday. Hopefully getting back to normal. It's kind of hard to just remember how to breathe naturally, actually, after having so long away from playing the trombone. Natural breathing is the thing. Many people come up with many different ways of, well, you should fill this cavity and fold yourself this way, and it really doesn't matter. If you're diving, the best breath you will ever get is at that moment you're about to run out of breath and you come to the top of the water. Your body naturally takes the biggest breath it can for you. It's a totally natural process. So I think when you start thinking about where the air is going, don't worry about it. Later on, when I get it back into playing, I'll start worrying about where am I breathing from. Right now, it's about making my lungs work again. They did tell me when I had all that I had to have total body radiation for all this transplant, and they said that my lung capacity could go down by 40%. I'm not prepared to let that happen. Maybe 5. But we'll see. I've got plenty of lung tests and different things coming up, and hopefully this will all help. Otherwise, I'm going to have to learn how to circular breathe, which will be another interesting thing to do. But as long as it's natural for now, the biggest thing is keeping all your torso open and just letting the air fill where it fills. Air's like water. And your lungs are like, say, an empty 2-litre bottle of Coke. You get the hose pipe and you put the water in there. Your lungs fill up and the water goes elsewhere. And it's almost like being able to say, okay, I'm going to go and play Bolero now. I'm actually not, thank God. But it's like saying I'm going to play a really big orchestral excerpt and I'm going to only fill up one lung. I'm going to fill up my left lung. Not possible. So don't worry about where the air is going. It really, really doesn't matter. So buzzing. And before I get on with that today, I think some of you did look at the Christian Lindbergh video that I said about on the link yesterday, which is it's quite an interesting thing, really, isn't it? If you haven't watched it, it's definitely worth going and having a watch. I think what it really comes down to is the origins of the whole buzz thing and your whole philosophy on brass playing, because ultimately, if you break brass playing down into complete basics, what is it? Movement of air and a buzz. And this is the instrument, really. That's a small amplifier, and the trombone's an even, or whatever you play is an even bigger amplifier, and that's where the problems start, really. But it's all controlled by this. Now, how you get that control, there's several. I guess there's several theories of doing it. There's no right and no wrong way, because everyone's embouchure is different. That you will not find. Well, I guess an embouchure is like a brass player's DNA. You will not find two players that are exactly the same. You might find some similar, but you won't find them that's exactly the same. So, let's look at three different people, and I'll try and get some, while I'm talking here, some photos of chops, just out of interest, trombone-wise, that I can think of. Okay, number one, someone who's got absolutely immaculate chops, and as far as range goes, I mean, there's not really that many people beat him. But for some reason in this country, he's not really that well known. I'll put a couple of videos in the link in the description box below. Goes by the name of Dave Steinmeier. Been listening to him a lot recently, and he was former leader of the US Air Force Airmen of Note Big Band. And his high range is absolutely incredible. It's just effortless. And he said that he had no high register until he had an accident once and did something to his teeth, and got to a stage where he couldn't really put any pressure on his front teeth anymore. And suddenly he had this incredible high register that made him into this monster of a player. So, yeah, no pressure. Opposite to Maynard Ferguson, I guess, who, if you see, if I can get a close-up of his chops, might give you nightmares. Yeah, overused, perhaps. Let's think of another trombone player with amazing chops. Bill Watrous, right? Okay, here's an interesting story. Bill Watrous hardly uses any pressure because as a kid, when he was learning to play, his dad, he actually got some string and tied his trombone to the ceiling, and said that if he had to use pressure to play the instrument and couldn't just balance it almost on his chops and play, that was the wrong thing to be doing. So he just learned naturally to play with no pressure. Herbie Green, I mean, the ultimate ballad player really for range and embouchure strength. You look at him playing some videos, and again, it's so easy. But I think Herbie Green's style of how he's done that, is more methodical. If you look. I know one of my good friends on here put the book on actually earlier on the 100-Day Challenge page on Facebook. Herbie Green's, I think it's called Herbie Green's An Hour a Day, and he says it himself that it's his maintenance routine. He also says that if you're not in good shape when you first start it, it will wipe you out. So I'm not going to go on to that one yet, but I will buy that book. So there's methodical ways of getting there, and other ways that people have just done it that are weird and wonderful. I'm not suggesting you go and start all tying your instruments to the ceiling. I'm certainly not in this flat anyway. Don't know what might happen. But there's different ways of doing it. So I'll try and get some videos so you can see what's going on with their chops while they're playing, and maybe some photos while I'm talking over this, because pretty sure you're getting a bit bored of my face by now. And I'm going to do some buzzing myself from the Bail-In book again. Anyone got any thoughts on this? Still don't know if anyone's ever heard of it or not, or if it's just me. Yeah, go through that again. And all I'm looking for now is that my face now stays in one position, no juddering, no movement. And the good thing is, it's not brilliant, but I couldn't do that yesterday. So hopefully a few more days of this and some gentle playing, which is when things will get a bit more interesting. will sort that out. Hard work in the bottom end for definite, for sure. So as you can see, even naturally my lips aren't kind of the right shape yet, but it's an improvement on yesterday. As long as every day is an improvement, that's good. I think the main thing is to remember when you're buzzing, always those two fingers, because it doesn't matter how strong you are at buzzing or how strong you are with your breathing either. If you start, kills the buzz, kills the tone, kills everything. So I'm going to have a go at number 2 now. I'll cut most of this out, most probably, because you probably don't really want to hear me buzzing that much. And then that'll be it for today. But it's already feeling a bit of an improvement on yesterday, which is great. Yeah, low register is pretty difficult, but much better than yesterday. So hopefully, might even get the trombone out tomorrow. I don't know, or take it steady. Do maybe a lot more buzzing, off-air buzzing tomorrow. Extend my buzzing to maybe half an hour. No, I've got going. So that's all for today, I think. Unless I think of something else. So I'll quickly edit this one together and get it put together for you, and we'll see you tomorrow.